Go, buddy.
Cool.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Just Another Year Chicago Bulls. My name is Justin, and then to my left is Mr. Nick Roberto. I don't know.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
go by Nick Roberto?
No, not at all, man.
I don't know why I thought of that. That was awesome.
I have some sort of anonymity, even though my last name has been online all the time. So
Nice.
it just felt right, and probably doesn't do anything. But
There
welcome,
you go.
hello all.
Hello, everybody. So, wow, we just witnessed a incredible Bulls win against a Ja Morantless Memphis Grizzlies team. So that is very, very exciting, and I cannot believe how insane that this game was. I mean, there was a lot going on, especially in that last fourth quarter of this game. 25 threes made in a single game. That is a new franchise record for the Chicago Bulls. And you go back to the late 90s and when Michael Jordan was around, they didn't even accomplish a feat like that. So that's really, really impressive. What's your take on that last quarter of this game for the Bulls, and what are some bright spots that you noticed mostly?
Yeah, man. This is gonna be the roller coaster, the emotional coaster that is this team. I think if we're jacking threes like this, I mean, this is different. Now we're gonna be in games. However, we're gonna, now it's just a live and die thing, right? Like if it's a one possession, two possession game, who knows what's gonna happen, right? Before it was like if we could get it within that margin, we know DeMar was gonna take us across the finish line. Now we're living and dying, and so whoever's hot that day, it's gonna depend on that. And I mean, LaVine had a great game, 30 points. Kobe's finding his rhythm again, and honestly, Vooch, man, seeing Vooch make threes again is pretty. It's a nice sight to see, just because even though, I don't know, he was probably shooting under 30%, but not too far. It just felt like he was shooting 4% last year. So it's just like it's so nice to just see him go down.
Mm-hmm.
And he
Mm-hmm.
gets. I love his Montenegrin attitude too. They went and reviewed one of that. So Scottie Pippen Jr. tried boxing him out. And he hit him with the Matumbo. No, don't review that.
That's right. That's right. He hit him with
You
that.
know that was wrong, and sure enough, man, it held up. So pretty awesome. And then I got a little flash of Caruso. We're missing him very much,
I agree.
especially off the Thunder game. With the little tribute to our sweet prince. But Io, man, that was a very Caruso-esque hustle play there, and he really saved the game to tip that ball back to Giddey. And then the Grizzlies had no choice but the foul. So pretty wild. 24 points in the first 16 minutes of this game, and then we then doubled that for the next 16 minutes. So it's just this up and down, this roller coaster's crazy. It makes for quite a spectacle. And as soon as you want to, kind of write the team off and get kind of pessimistic about it, you realize that with some of this firepower, we're gonna
That's
win games.
great points. I mean, phenomenal points that you just made here. I mean, I think this little rant that you went on just inspired every Chicagoan to become a humongous Bulls fan for the rest of this year. You just lit a fire under everybody, and obviously there's we're 500 now. Bulls are 500. They're 2-2. There wasn't a lot of positivity in that OKC game, but now we're seeing that. Basketball is like football in a sense. It's any given day or any given Sunday. It really can go up in the air, especially with basketball. I mean, you just got to catch fire, and you just have to be able to be consistent in a game. If two or three guys are consistent throughout a game, you're gonna win. And speaking of which, I really liked your point of Io DeSumo being that fire and being that defender. I think that the Bulls front office had the idea that Io DeSumo was going to kind of replace Alex Caruso defensively. And I could see that. I mean, I think it's a good plan. It's a good idea. Obviously we are going to miss Caruso. He's a great locker room guy. He's a guy that you want to have on your team. Looks like he's having a lot of fun over in OKC though. Wish him nothing but the best. But I truly am super thrilled with Josh Giddey's performance. I really wanted to go over his stat line because he is really proving himself. Hear this out. Ready? 13 rebounds. Okay, tonight. 8 assists, 12 points.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. And I mean, obviously you want those points to go up a little bit more, but like the facilitation is so impressive. So
Yeah.
Josh Giddy has really stepped up and done what he is supposed to be doing. You can, and it's a little odd because you can kind of see that there's a little bit of like when Zach LaVine scored a really clutch three to tie the game, or I think they took the lead, Josh Giddy went over to give him like a high five. And I noticed that there was just kind of like a lack of like excitement between the two of them. I just think it's because he's so new, and it's something that we need to be able to say, okay, he's got to earn his stripes. You're not going to be one of the boys right when you join the crew. You got to earn
Right.
his stripes. So if he continues to have games like this, I think it's going to be nothing but fun times with him.
Yeah, I think these guys really like playing with each other, and they're here with open arms. But you gotta earn your stripes, like you said, and it's clear that maybe they don't have the secret handshakes yet, maybe not the chemistry that they would like with Giddey off the court, to where it's going to translate a little bit, with a little miss high five here and there. But he'll get there, especially if he's playing positively. And I like seeing the plus minus to 11, because I think I don't remember exactly what they were, but I have a feeling they weren't very strong in these prior games with him. And seeing that go up was nice. I think just he can find his groove, and he's kind of filling out that stat sheet like we saw Lonzo doing it, back in the day. And obviously, completely different players. And speaking of, man, how fun is it to see Lonzo out there, man? It's just such a blast, and it's a mixed bag, right? Because I get you kind of get depressed by thinking about what could have been, especially seeing him at limited minutes and in the shell of who he could be physically, and he's still just he's such a basketball player, man. He just finds the open guy. Mm-hmm. He never throws a bad pass. He's always on the ground when he's throwing. I sound like a high school coach now. He never leaves his feet to throw a pass. He just does these things that, again, he's gonna have a great plus minus, and he's never gonna put you down, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe he's not gonna score a ton of points or something on a given night, but you're never gonna get behind because Lonzo's on the floor. He's always a close player, and so it's so fun to see, man.
That's an excellent point.
I want to see Vooch. I want to see Vooch's confidence go back up, because I would imagine it was shaken after last year. He seems, he's he's a vet. Maybe it didn't affect him as much as we would have thought, but when that guy's confident, man, he's a dog. He's a dog. So,
oh yeah. Oh, fun fact. I heard Stacey King talking tonight about Vooch. He's actually about to lose citizenship in Montenegro, because it's a law in Montenegro that you can only be a citizen in 2 countries, not 3. He's a citizen in Belgium, and as of October, the U.S., and now Montenegro. So somehow he's about to lose citizenship for that, and I just thought that was crazy. So, fun fact for everybody: he's a citizen in 3 different countries. But going back to his playing ability, Vooch is a very, very. You really can't get much better of a veteran presence in your locker room than someone like Vucevic. There is something about him that really gravitates towards winning. You want to win for Vooch because he seems like just a really nice person. His demeanor is so competitive, but yet he will do anything for any of his teammates. And I love the fact that he's on our team. Okay. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm so glad. You look at guys like Joel Embiid, and you look at guys like Giannis. Yeah, they got cool personalities. They're great, but they don't seem very nice. They just don't seem very nice. They don't seem like nice guys. I just love having Vooch. He's a nice guy. So going back to your point about Lonzo Ball as well, played 18 minutes tonight, 6 assists, 6 points. And again, for the facts being he hasn't played in 2 seasons, for him to come out, get 6 assists, run the floor, and be able to facilitate, you really can't ask for much more. We are at a crossroad here, in a standstill. Matas, 4 minutes played tonight, didn't do anything, didn't do a thing. We didn't need him out there, I don't think. But here's the thing, though: we're not going to catch fire from the 3-point line every single game. There's got to be other ways to win. And with a guard heavy lineup, we need to have our big men actually going down and scoring. So I think that's going to be something that the Bulls are going to, specifically Billy Donovan, is going to have to get in his game plan. We cannot realize that, they're gonna be shooting threes and making them. That's just not going to happen. So I wanted to read a comment here from a Mixstep fan. Let's show that. Giannis is not a nice guy. People forget he's a really dirty player. See, that's the thing. He comes on the TV, he's smiling, he's got his brother. Nah, man, he's a mean guy.
Nah, the jig is up on Giannis. It was such a cute, good story at the beginning, but it was completely unbiased as Bulls fans, of course.
Correct. I think so. I wanted to ask you. Well, we got a couple more points here to make. I mean, because of course we're super excited and happy that the Bulls won this game, and they were down 20 points at one point. So, man, I would have loved to have made a live bet on that one, huh?
Yeah.
I think it was like plus 600 or something at halftime.
It was probably pretty crazy, man. I mean, trailing by 20 plus in the second quarter. Still trailing by double digits in the third. But now that we can kind of hold our own from the 3-point line, knock on wood. I mean, I don't want to say we're going to blow anyone out of the water, but we can hold our own, man. And that's what kept us there. I mean, that's what kept us in it. Jalen Smith. I mean, shout out to Jalen as well. Jalen Smith, really. I mean, he was kind of the light of the beginning of the game when we were getting.
He started that 3-point monsoon. I mean, he was going. He went 3 for 4 tonight.
Yep.
And he started the first half 2 for 2. So I think he really started that monsoon. Speaking of all this offense, our question of the night is going to be, who is the offensive player of the game? Now, there's a couple easy answers here. There's a couple weird answers here. But, Nick, who do you got for your offensive player of the game tonight?
As much as I would love to give it to, Alonzo or a Vooch, you got to give it to Zach, man. You got to give it to Zach. I like how he has some sort of, he's got this charisma back to him where it's not just like he's checking in, he's clocking in, clocking out, and kind of has this, the body language is big with Zach. I mean, I hate to be a dad about it, but his body language has just been so much more positive this year. And, sometimes that translates. Sometimes that does make you play better if you carry yourself in that way. So it's cool to see him smiling, talking to Casey Johnson after the game, reminiscing on college days and saying how well he tends to shoot in Memphis. And he lived up to it. Shout out the boy.
I couldn't agree with you more. There's really nobody else that you can give this honor to. The just another year offensive player of the game honor to Zach LaVine. He is just, I mean, it's, and you're so correct. The body language, the confidence is there. It's night and day compared from what the last 2 seasons have been for him to now. Dude, Zach LaVine is like, this is my team. I'm taking the reins. Like, he took it back, and the question's got to be asked. I mean, do you think that LaVine and DeMar DeRozan had a good relationship, or do you think LaVine was just kind of like, man, like, it's DeMar DeRozan, I can't really say shit. I can't really say anything to him.
Yeah. I like to think just because of, I mean, DeMar's as wholesome and grounded as he gets. It's hard not to get along with him. I'm sure they got along on a fundamental level, but I think subconsciously though, Zach, that affected Zach because to him, I'm being paid like a number one guy. I need all the light, which deservedly so. And he's been in this league a minute now, man. And so he's been grinding for the max. And so I'm sure it took a toll on his psyche quite a bit, even though, you can't not love DeMar. And Zach, again, I should give him some credit. He's a very lovable dude as well. So I think on a fundamental level, they got along. But I'd be hard pressed to find out that took no toll on him. And it's just kind of that second seat.
Yeah. I think it just comes down to game plan, and that's why I think that
Yeah.
Billy Donovan's job this year is so important because it's going to have to come down to game plan. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm super thrilled we won tonight and everything, but we got to be real with ourselves here, Nick. If the Bulls didn't hit, 25 threes tonight, we're not winning that game.
Not even.
And it shouldn't have even been close because the Grizzlies were playing us with their bench squad essentially.
Yeah.
No Zach Giddy, no John Morant. So why are we keeping it close with Memphis? And of course, I'm not gonna. That's where I'm gonna leave it. Right. I don't want to be negative. I want to be able to be happy about this win, but the game plan has got to change. So Billy Donovan really has to buckle down and make this team a team where we're actually leading at halftime instead of trailing every single game. So we're 4 games trailing at halftime. Let's keep it going. Let's pick it up.
Yeah, man. This might be my last point, just because this is what's on my mind the most. But you bring up a good point, man. This was not a full squad. Zach Edey played, but he played less than Lonzo. So he was barely a factor. And then Marcus Smart is shooting 0 for 11 from the field. I mean, that just is a horrendous performance. And he played a lot of minutes, man. So I mean, there's all these things that we could kind of turn to be like, wow, we really got away with that one. But and we did. And guess what? We're not going to make 25 threes, maybe ever again. I mean, we can't even rely on that in the least bit. Now, if we're going to shoot 50 a game, I would hope that we could get up to the 20s maybe here and there. But again, like you said, I don't know where. I think we would be looking at at least a 20-point loss without playing out of our mind.
That's possible, and that's okay. That's all right. We pushed it out tonight, and I am super thrilled about that. I got to see who we got next coming up here, so that way we can kind of mentally prepare ourselves for next game. So we have coming up here. All right, so the Bulls are going to be playing the Orlando Magic on Wednesday at 7 p.m. So let me just say this. Pablo Banchero, he scored 37 points tonight in the first half. Yeah, dude.
So he just continues to ascend. I mean, it's people put some respect on his name. The whole league, by the way. I mean, I know it's being done already, but that dude can be. I mean, he could be MVP in a couple of years here.
I wasn't too keen on that draft class. I didn't really care for his draft class much. I was kind of just like, man, these guys are kind of keeping it quiet and just not really doing much. He ended up with 50 tonight. So that guy is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Is he 6'10", right? Just balling like that.
He's tall. Yeah, he's a tall guy. Tall guard.
Crazy. I mean,
unreal.
He's an absolute problem.
So that's going to be Giddey's problem. It looks like that might be Giddey's guy. In that situation, you got such a big guy like that, and someone who's going to score and he's going to get in the paint. I mean, that's where Billy Donovan's going to have to say, okay, who am I going to put on him so that way he doesn't do that. So that's going to be part of the game plan that Billy's got to work on, and we really got to see what he does. He's on a short leash in my eyes. Okay, Billy Donovan's on a short leash, so he's got to get the game plans correct, and we have to figure out what's going to make this lineup successful. I'm on cloud 9, but we have a real tough challenge against a 3-1 Orlando Magic team with a young guy who just scored 50 points. So this is going to be the real test. We beat the Bucks. Okay, we beat the Bucks. Can we beat the Orlando Magic? We will see. Is there anything else that you want to add to this, Nick, before we call it a live stream?
No, man. I wouldn't have thought we'd be 2-2 right now. I'm a happy camper. I think we all should be, given the circumstances. So let's keep seeing red, baby.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I am extremely grateful to be 2-2. I am very, very pumped to be a Chicago Bulls fan this season. There's a lot of things that got to be worked out. We have a young team, but like I said in the past, we know what Billy Donovan's capable of with a younger squad, and we are going to see what he does to make this team successful. How the rotations are going to be mixed up. Let's see if Lonzo Ball comes out and averages a triple double with Josh Giddy. Let's go out there. Let's be positive and let's win some more games. Let's keep it going. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to Just Another Year Chicago Bulls. My name is Justin. This is Nick. We will be back and talk more Bulls this week. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Go Bulls. See red.